Some moments echo throughout the galaxy.
Execute Order 66.
Wars rage. Empires rise.
The Republic will be reorganized into the First Galactic Empire!
But this is the journey of an unlikely few. Meet the Bad Batch.
You ready for this?
Hunter, the leader.
In and out, quickly and quietly.
Wrecker, the brawler.
I'm missing all the action!
Tech, the specialist.
This is not a standard military operation.
Echo, the hacker.
This great plan of yours is looking really lousy about now.
And Crosshair, the marksman.
Go away.
Altered by genetic mutations, a ragtag band of clones struggles for survival.
Knife!
And their choices will determine their fate in a dangerous new galaxy.
Direct hit!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Bad Batch Episode 1 pregame show.
21st.
My name is Matt Jarbo. Thank you so much for tuning the hell in. This is going to be a lot of fun, but let's start talking right now. I can't believe we're here, if I'm being honest with you guys. I remember last year watching the first 4-episode arc of the final season of Clone Wars, getting introduced to the Bad Batch, and being like so many of you jumping on Twitter and tweeting out, "God damn it, Lucasfilm. God damn it. We want the Bad Batch as a show. These characters are awesome. They're great. They're everything we want in a post-Clone Wars show." And they listened. They actually listened. I mean, and it's here. And not only are we getting one episode tonight that's 70 minutes long, but on Friday is when it goes back to being the normal release schedule with a regular 31-minute long episode. And there will be 14 more episodes to follow, I believe, after this week. That's a long time, baby. That's a couple months of Star Wars. That's a couple months of Star Wars to get us through the summer. Talking about Bad Batch every single week. I'm hyped. I am absolutely hyped here. I gotta kind of agree with Alvy when he says, I gotta say it. I love Star Wars more than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I'm a big MCU guy. You guys all know this, but my God, do I love Star Wars. Geek Studios asks, is this going to be a watch party? If you guys want to, we'll keep it going through the episode. I just won't show it on the screen. And then we can talk about it afterward. So that's something we can do. This is kind of an open-ended thing. I actually went out tonight and did my deliveries for the first time in 2 weeks because my back felt good enough to go. And I just got home and I immediately jumped on the computer wanting to do all this. I completely agree too. It says here, great time to be a Star Wars fan. Damn. Yeah, dude. I mean, look, right now I think they've already wrapped the Book of Boba Fett. And if I recall, season 3 of The Mandalorian was going to go into production right after that. And I think they're going to start shooting the Last of Us series here very soon. So Pedro's schedule is going to be very busy. But not only that, they're shooting Cassian Andor, which I believe is 12 episodes, 12-hour-long episodes. That's filming right now. Obi-Wan Kenobi is filming right now. They're getting ready for Rangers of the New Republic. They're getting ready for Ahsoka. They're getting ready to give us more. And more and more and more. Just like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Star Wars is never not going to be with new content. And I don't know about you guys. I am, oh yeah, that was happy. I was very happy to know about that. Lord Slug here says, I got a bad feeling about Crosshair. What exactly is your bad feeling about Crosshair? I'm curious to know what you think is going to happen with Crosshair, because I think he's the gruffy one. Crosshair is going to come across as the guy who, everyone's going to kind of love to hate, right? I think that's going to be the Crosshair's whole thing. I mean, obviously, as a longtime Clone Wars fan, Echo's my boy, and I'm really looking forward to see what they do with him. I was so happy that they were able to find a way to bring him back into the fold when it comes to the show. And and that's D. Bradley Baker, man. That's giving him some work, which I think is fantastic. Here is the poster for Crosshair that they just released today. Looking pretty badass. I'm going to save the other ones here. We'll take a look at the other ones as well. We've got, maybe I can find the images from today that are all in one, that are today. Maybe I can find that there. Let's see what I can find in the Google machine. No. Oh yeah. Well, this is kind of one. Okay. Kind of one. This will work for what we need. But I don't know about you guys. I don't know what to expect from the show ultimately, but I know that if it's going to be pretty good. Here's some other character posters. We got Hunter, Wrecker, and Echo. And yeah, from what I've been reading, there's even the new character. There's this, who is this, the kid, right? Omega. And from what I was looking at, apparently Omega is supposed to be, like a Baby Yoda type character, right? Like they're trying to say, like, that is kind of what people are alluding to, is that Omega is going to be a Baby Yoda type character. I don't know. I mean, like, look, I will be honest with you guys. In shows like this, whenever they introduce a kid, I always take a step back for a second, because I'm always like, because like, I don't know. Now, people out there might argue, but Matt, this is a show for children. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a big kid. I'm almost 40. I'm a huge kid. And I don't know what to expect from this show, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's take a look here what you guys are saying. Music Man here says, hell yeah, glad you were working. Thank you. Yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting to go back out there. It was kind of an odd deal, but I did okay. Thank you. Lord Slug says, any theories about tonight's episode? I think Crosshair might betray or leave the group, but no, Crosshair. I mean, right off the bat, you think Crosshair is going to leave? I haven't read any theories. I'm kind of going in blind on this one here. Bruh Noah asks, when's the episode coming out? I believe it drops at midnight Pacific. I'm going to keep a tab open here for Disney Plus in order to make sure that my tab is always ready to go, because I am going to be looking forward to this thing. Oh my God. My front page of Disney Plus is full of nothing but like Tinkerbell, because that's all my daughter's been watching recently. I've seen more Tinkerbell than I ever care to see. All right. So for some reason, Bad Batch isn't up. There it is. Okay. So if you are looking to find, I'm going to post this in the chat. If you are got your Disney Plus up here and you're looking to find, there you go. This is the link for the Disney Plus, thing here. So, okay. So Lord Slug is asking the question. We might see some Rebels characters in the show. I would assume, like, I don't know exactly how this thing is going to start. I'm assuming it's going to be Order 66, because that is clearly what the sizzle reel that I showed, and that just dropped today. What the sizzle reel showed was the Emperor, talking about the new galactic empire. So, I mean, clearly Bad Batch is going to be on the run. We're going to see them take out probably a lot of clones in the process. Should be very interesting to see. Geeks here says Ezra was in his teens on Rebels, and he did great to make me like the character. I know. Omega could be like that too. However, I don't know what to expect there. We'll have to wait and see here. Alvi asks, have you seen the promo for The Simpsons parody of The Force Awakens? It also comes out tonight on Disney Plus. The Force Awakens from its nap. Pardon me. I need to drink some water. I don't know why my voice is going down. It's like last night. It's like last night when I had to go to the bathroom. That was kind of embarrassing, but hey, it is what it is. It be what it be. And I'll bring up the image here of The Force Takes a Nap. I just learned about this today. I, like many of you, are very excited to see this. I love the Simpsons short films, especially the ones with Maggie. I really like the last one that they did. So this is going to be pretty cool to watch when it drops tonight as well. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be only a couple minutes. I have a feeling I might start with this before jumping into the episode, only because I think a lot of people are going to be absolutely flooding Disney Plus, just like with WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. So we'll have to wait and see here. Yeah, Music Man says when you gotta go, you gotta go. That is very true. That was pretty funny last night, though. I had a lot of fun with that. I thought it was great that I grabbed those two guys randomly and like threw them in, and they were like, "Oh, they did good." I give them questions. Geek Studios here says, "I just heard about this." Now you just heard about this? They announced it earlier today. Also, if you happen to be a 4K Blu-ray collector, if you like the 4K UHD, Wario64 just said a little bit ago here that let me just bring it up here right now over on Best Buy. And, I'll just bring this up here. We can take a look at this. Over on Best Buy, you can actually get some pretty decent Star Wars offers. You can get, I love how they start off here. You can get Rise of Skywalker 4K for $17. That's not bad. The Last Jedi, $17. That's not bad. The Force Awakens, I mean, it's 4K, right? 17 is not too shabby. And then, of course, all the other ones as well. You can get Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope. And then Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace, Solo, Rogue One, Revenge of the Sith. You can get all the movies over there on bestbuy.com, $17, not including sales tax. How much is that on its own? Let me see here. Right, $16.99 plus how many movies are there? There's 11, right? There's 9. Yeah, there's 9. All right, so times 11, and you're looking at $186.89 to get you the entire Star Wars collection in 4K. Now, that's not too shabby, considering, but I would rather buy the set. At this point, if I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'd rather buy the set. So that is where I'm going to stay when it comes to this. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good deal. I know I might get like Empire. I might go for that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see here. But H Barts with a $5 super chat says, "Heard you joined Marvel." No, I heard you super chatted that to Enosh. I did not join Marvel, but I would 100%, dude. I love the MCU as much as I enjoy DC films. I'm sorry. I like people to have a plan. That's the sign of a true leader right there. Anyway, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. Geeks here does say, "I've been offline today watching Clone Wars." Now, here's a question. Were you watching it in its release order, or were you watching it in the chronological watch order? I watched it last year in the chronological watch order, and I thought it was really good. Couple the arcs I didn't really care for. I just didn't really care for some of the ones in season 4 and season 5. I just felt like they strayed too far away. There was like the one with the droids, and I was bored to tears by it. And I know that George Lucas really likes that arc, but I just could never really get into it. And then also the stuff when they were dealing with the Mon Calamari episodes from season 4, I just kind of felt those were kind of weak. But I really like anything with Maul, anything with Savage Opress or Ventress. I really enjoyed those characters. And Ventress is still alive at this point in time. Maybe Ventress will be making an appearance. I don't know. Okay, you watched it in release order? Yeah, that's okay, dude. It's all right. Let's see, Alva here says, "Next year, Disney should have Family Guy do a parody of the sequels on May the 4th. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. Jacob here asks, "Did you see the Bad Batch unfinished episode from before?" No, I never did. I heard about it. I did hear about it. I didn't finish season 6 because I was told those are not connected, but I guess they were. I need to go watch them. Let's see. Lord Sluck here says, "My sources told me that Jarbo will be playing the Thing in a new Fantastic Four movie." Oh, eat my asshole. I'm trying to lose weight, you bastard. Anyway, okay, so we got Jackson Jones here talking about, he's got a couple, okay, hold on. He says here, "I remember seeing the Bad Batch episodes in their unfinished story reel form at Star Wars Celebration in 2015. I liked the plot and the return of Echo, but I still cannot get behind the superpowers that come from the desirable mutations. It is just hard to imagine how the closers, or I think that it says clones, how the clones that specialize in gene editing could let this happen or choose to replicate it. Also, if this Omega character is a clone variant of Jango, this further breaks my understanding of Star Wars cloning." Well, all things considered, listen, and I've been saying this for a while, and I will continue saying this, where Disney is at right now is they are at doing their best to try and connect everything to the sequel trilogy. And look, you may not like it, and that's fine. But I think what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to build the story up to where it feels like the sequel trilogies unanswered questions or just bigger questions get answered in the ancillary content going forward. To me, it just makes the most amount of sense, because when you think about it, they want those, they want the sequel trilogy to be as loved as the OT and the PT. And in many people's minds, this is never going to happen. But if they find a way to kind of explain it, like for example, that one bit in Rise of Skywalker where they're talking about Ochi's blade, and Lando is all like, when I was younger, me and Luke Skywalker went looking for that blade. Still can't do a Lando, still can't do a Billy D, but he's very folksy in my impression. And I thought that would be something that we could see on Disney Plus. Like, I feel like that line was put in there specifically to eventually show us the origins of that blade. Because I still want to know how the fuck that they knew how that they could figure out how to make a blade with like a Goonies compass inside of it that would line up perfectly to showcase the second Death Star. I don't know. I don't know. Like that is something I want answered, and that's something I really want to kind of nail Chris Terrio down on. If I could ever talk to him, I'd ask him so what was up with that blade, man? Like, how did Ochi's blade, how did that happen? What is the story of that blade? That's something I want to see. So I want to see what's going to be happening with that one here. Carlos asked the questions, who would you play in the MCU? A mutant, maybe? I don't know, man. I don't know if Kevin Smith is there. Geeks asks if it's possible to DM me later on IG. I guess, yeah, just send me a DM and I'll answer it. Let's see. Jacob asks, is the season 3 of The Mandalorian coming out at the end of 2022? Nope. Book of Boba Fett will be coming out Christmas time this year. Mando, I'm assuming, will come in between whatever the Marvel shows are going to be. So, no, I have a feeling that Mando season 3 will be coming out most likely. It might be mid 2022, just to be fair. I mean, because they're going to have Andor and they're going to have Obi-Wan. And if they're going to try to, I don't know if they're going to want to run Star Wars content and Marvel content simultaneously. It just feels like even though these episodes are going to be running on Friday, they are going to be doing the Loki show in a couple weeks, right? So, they'll have overlap, and that's cool. That's more things to talk about. That's more things to get into, and I'm very excited. All right, let's see. Lord Slug says, I hope one day they will animate the unfinished Boba Fett arc where he duels Cad Bane. Maybe make it a special. That would be pretty cool. I mean, I never thought about that. What if Cad Bane is in the Bad Batch? I would think if Fennec Shand is going to be rocking around the Bad Batch, I have a feeling that Cad Bane won't be too far behind. And I am hoping, because I love Cad Bane. So I'm really hoping on that one. Alfie here says, I want Star Wars detours on Disney Plus. Didn't Lucasfilm renew the trademark a few years ago? They did. And that's actually how I learned about Star Wars detours, is when the news broke about that. So as far as I know, they've got around, I think they have 30 some episodes that are completed, and they had the scripts that were written for 60 more episodes or something like that. So if they've been working on this covertly, then it's entirely possible that we'll get a lot of Star Wars detours, and those are going to be fun to talk about as well. Skywalker Brian here asking the hard question. How much longer do you think the Solo 2 movement will burn out till they get what they want? The Solo 2 movement, here's the thing with that, right? I think the Solo 2 movement, which I am a part of, by the way, I was actually talking about Solo earlier today and how much I loved it. And I'm really hoping that we do get to see a sequel, but I think the sequel is going to take place with Lando coming in, the Lando series, right? If it's going to be flashbacks, Billy D old telling the young stories. But I would love to see more about Crimson Dawn and more about Kira. And, maybe that's Emilia Clarke. That's what she might be working on post Secret Wars, bringing her back in. And maybe I'm the only one here. If you agree, press 1. If I'm wrong, press 2. This will be a tough one. This is going to be a decisive one. I want Alden Ehrenreich to come back. If you agree with me, press 1. If you disagree with me, press 2. That's okay. So, because I loved Solo. I loved it. Music Man here says, I'd play Wolverine. I got the sideburns for it. I have thought about giving myself the Wolverine facial hair, but I'm not that much of a douchebag. You know what I mean? Geeks here says, I hope we see Obi-Wan in a flashback, maybe in Bad Batch. Maybe. I hope so too, man. Cylon Scotty, what's going on, man? How you doing? Says here, Cad Bane. That's an excellent call out. Hell yeah, man. I'd love to see Cad Bane. I'd love to also see Bosk and maybe Boba show back up, get a bit more of that leading into, because they could give us some Boba tidbits here that will tie into the Book of Boba Fett. So what I love about this is that it's taking the Clone Wars and it's expanding upon them post what we got out of the Siege of Mandalore, which was a fantastic series finale last year. Hold on. Is Ewoks on Disney Plus? Is it? Hold on. I'm going to look this up, man. Ewoks. Is it? Oh my God. It is. Oh my God. It is. Holy crap. I did not know these. Did these just drop? Tell me, did these just drop up here? Hold on, you guys got to see this. I'll bring it up here. I take a screenshot real quick. Did this? Oh my God. Yes. Oh, look at this. Who wants to watch this? Oh, I know they just did the vintage stuff like last week, right? So, we got to do some watch parties. We got to do some watch parties and watch the Ewoks Battle for Endor and Caravan of Courage. Oh my God. These movies actually got theatrical releases in the UK. And I only know this because there was one woman on Twitter who had said she had talked about like the theatrical releases of Star Wars films. And she mentioned, what was it? She mentioned like that there were two more than what had been released, right? And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, the Ewok movies, they were never released in theaters. No, they were. They were released in theaters over in the UK back in the day when they came out. So yeah, we gotta do a watch party. Cylon Scotty with the with the hardcore admission. This is seriously turning into Star Wars confessionals right here. Saying I love Ewok Adventures. It's my Star Wars guilty pleasure. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. All right. Jacob here asks, did you know Hugh Jackman has revealed that he was supposed to cameo as Wolverine in Spider-Man? He even arrived in New York to film the scene. Wait, what? For like Spider-Man No Way Home? Or what Spider-Man? I know that the Doctor Strange cameo was confirmed today. I know that. But we'll have to talk more about that later on. Geeks here says Solo looks amazing on 4K. Yeah. I mean, I know they got the 4K UHD on Disney Plus. And I might need to give it a watch on my TV because I got my new TV and shit. So I want to watch it. Anyway, lots of people, lots of ones. Geeks won, Cylon, Ryan, Jackson, Austin, Lord Slug, Anthony. Wow, but there's a lot of Alden Ehrenreich fans here. I'm surprised, you guys. I'm surprised. My voice is rising. That's how surprised I am. I thought he was hated. I thought I was like the only one that really dug him in the role. Because, everybody wanted that other guy that looks more like Harrison Ford. I just kind of feel like that would have been too much. That would have been too uncanny valley. You know what I mean? It would have been a little bit too different. But I thought Alden did a good job. Real quick, though, I don't want to leave Cylon here. Wow, $20 Superbuck. Superbuck says, I pledge another 20 if you do an Ewok Adventure watch party. Well, sir, we will find out the time to do that because I am a whore and I like money. Also, I've personally not seen it since like back in the day. So it's going to be like watching it again for like the first time. And that's going to be very interesting. I'm okay with that, right? Music Man here says, what? They gave furries motherfucking... They did. They gave him 2. They absolutely gave him 2. Hell yeah. Oh, wait. So so Hugh Jackman confirmed that in Spider-Man 2002, he was supposed to be in Spider-Man? Whoa, dude. That's cool. Like, that is cool. I'll have to keep that in mind when I do a podio commentary on that. All right. Brian here says, some of the concept art from Art of Galaxy's Edge book was super badass. That got released, and yeah, it would have been nice to see, but it sucks. It will never happen. I know that book just got released. I'm not going to get it right away. I'm going to wait a little bit just because I've been out of work for the last couple of weeks. So like I got to just kind of like, recalibrate. But yeah, I do want to start picking up a lot of those art books of those movies. Okay. So it was Toby's. All right. Okay. So apparently the scene was ultimately scrapped as the crew couldn't get access to the Wolverine costume from 2000's X-Men. Well, I mean, there were competing studios at the time. Sony and 20th Century Fox, but at the same time, like, I don't know, man, I would have totally, I would have totally done that. Do they need to get the suit? I mean, I guess back in 2002, maybe they thought that there was like the aesthetic, like no one's going to believe that it's going to be Hugh Jackman in the role, because it would have been his like second appearance as Wolverine, I guess, at that point in time. Yeah, no. I mean, they tried that in X-Men First Class. He just sat there in a checkered shirt, smoking a stogie, told him to fuck off. And like, that was it. It was 2 seconds and it was great. Just like the first time I had. Anyway, H Bart's here, $5, man. Thank you. Says Nick Cage in Star Wars. I'm just gonna put this out there again. I'm just gonna run a poll in the chat. There's 35 of you in here. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. 1 to 2. Okay. Nick Cage, General Thrawn. 1 for yes, 2 for no. I'm leaning more towards like no, but it would be a buck wild General or Grand Admiral Thrawn. I said General Thrawn. Jeez, I'm an idiot. Grand Admiral Thrawn. It would be a crazy thing to see him all painted blue and acting, completely unlike Thrawn's character. Well, could you see that happening though? That's the question. Jacob here, he says 1. Alvy, Austin say 2. Music Man says 1. Geek says 2. Lord Slug says 2. Jackson, Julian, I'll say 2. Ryan here says 2. Yeah. I'm just saying, I think he would be funny in the role. Really, I think he'd be really funny in the role if he were to play Grand Admiral Thrawn. But I do agree with Austin here. I think Nick Cage would be good in Star Wars. And Lord Slug says, imagine they made him silent like that one movie. Yeah. Oh yeah. Willy's Wonderland, where he doesn't talk. I still need to watch it, but I did hear he doesn't have it. He doesn't have any dialogue in the movie. Imagine pitching that film to Nick Cage. Like, hey man, we're going to do this movie where you're going to fight a whole bunch of animatronic like animals at like a Chuck E. Cheese and shit. But here's the thing. You don't got to fucking talk in the movie. You just got to grunt and stab shit. He's like, all right, I'll take it. That works, man. That works out. Let's see here. Benedict Cumberbatch was signed to appear as Doctor Strange in the finale of WandaVision, then Marvel decided against it and had to change everything. Would it have been too much for WandaVision? No, but what they explained on that, with it being the commercials that we saw, that was Doctor Strange that was trying to, like he was sending those into Westview in order to get Wanda to kind of wake up. He was sending her messages and clues. I would have loved to have seen it, but COVID messed up a lot of stuff. COVID messed up a lot of both Marvel shows. WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier both had to cut certain things because of the whole situation. And I think that that's a bit of an issue. That's why I think going forward, most things are going to be shot in the volume. Now, I do agree with Jacob here. Well, I don't know. Now, here's the thing, man. I know what you're saying here. Robert Downey Jr. should play Grand Admiral Thrawn. I don't know. I don't know if I could see Robert Downey Jr. playing Thrawn. And I say that because, for one, would we be able to see anyone else other than Robert Downey Jr. in that role? Right? Because I don't know if we would. There's also been people that have speculated that a good person to play it would also be Tom Cruise, because Tom Cruise can do that kind of insane, that type of very, like, I don't want to say insane, but very like stoic, very determined, very passionate glare. You know what I mean? And that could be something that would be interesting to see. So, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I really think Benedict Cumberbatch would be good, but he has said he doesn't want to be painted blue, which tells me that he has been talked to about playing Thrawn, probably. Especially if he was gonna be okay with doing a cameo in WandaVision. Which, again, here's the thing with that too. Think about this, right? The WandaVision stuff, the Marvel has such loyalty with their actors that they'll come in for a cameo on a cable streaming show. Like there's a lot of love and a lot of loyalty there. And again, one of the reasons why DC is just having problems. I agree with Geeks here. Smash that motherfucking like button, baby. Anthony Chabot, Big Anthony, is in the chat. How are you, Matthew? By the way, happy May the 4th be with you. Are you doing Collins? I might do Collins in the next, maybe I'll start doing this here in a few minutes, just so we can like get people's I want to say like what they believe is going to be happening in the Bad Batch, Anthony. So I want to keep it on point tonight. So if I do call-ins and you do call in, I would ask that you keep it very much on point for the Star Wars Bad Batch. I don't know if you have Disney Plus, if you're going to be able to watch it tonight. I really do hope you will, but I just want to keep it on point. But tomorrow night we'll be back to normal, this Halloween After Dark stuff. Okay. Well, Alvy here, I know, real quick says, I say I want to keep it on point, but he brings up a good thing. He says, what do you think about that Marvel Phase 4 trailer? Look, man, that is the reason why I love Marvel. That is the reason why I've been a fan ever since I was in Hall H for the announcement of Iron Man back in 2007. And watching Robert Downey Jr. and Kevin Feige and Jon Favreau come out on stage and talk about this universe and the inception of this universe. And here it is. I mean, it's like, what, 13 years later? And I'm a diehard fan. And that trailer gave me goosebumps, starting off with that Stan Lee speech and how, like, he talks about how, like, we're all part of the same universe, which I know was a dig at Warner Brothers, by the way, you know, because they haven't been able to really figure it out yet. But that being said, I did enjoy everything. I mean, the Eternals is supposed to be based off of Jack Kirby artwork. Where the hell was any of that stuff? They just gave us a flashy looking fucking sunset. That's all. Anyway, Lord Slug here says the pandemic really did screw over those shows. That is very true. Cylon says, I want Thrawn to be played by an unknown so that we don't project anything onto the character from another actor's work. That makes sense. And it's, I mean, there are actors. It's like, you know, look, Timothy Olyphant as Cobb Vanth, right? Like, he did Cobb Vanth very well, but it's like still this Timothy Olyphant. I'm a big Justified fan. So he kind of played a similar character. I'm okay with it because they're kind of in line with one another. But then again, you know, like sometimes it is difficult when an actor has done a role that's pretty badass. I would like, in the Daredevil show first season, Wesley, Kingpin's second guy, I forget that actor's name, but I think he would be something that could be pretty good. I always wanted him, like in my mind, when I was reading Ready Player One back in 2015, when they announced the movie, in my mind, I saw him playing Sorrento. I thought Ben Mendelsohn did an okay job, but I thought it was a bit of a younger, more power-hungry guy. And that's in my mind. I could see him playing that kind of villain, that very kind of like tactful villain. Although, I mean, Sorrento, maybe not the best example, but I thought Wesley was in Daredevil. So someone like that. But who do you guys think would be good as playing Thrawn? Taylor here says, Michael Rooker. Interesting. I mean, we have seen him in blue, and that could actually be the problem. Because there's that one here. Okay, oh, here we go. Here's a good one. Lars Mikkelsen, who voices Thrawn, should play him. Okay. Lars Mikkelsen. I've been hearing about that. Let me bring up a photo of him. Lars Mikkelsen. All right. I mean, yeah, I can see it, right? I can see it here. Let me just save this one. You know, I mean, here's the thing when it comes to Marvel and Star Wars, man, they are pretty good about giving the fans what they want. You know, fans say we want something, and they're like, okay, yeah, we can make this work. We can do this. Here we go. I mean, he's a voice for him, and he could play an older one. I mean, Thrawn's going to be a bit older, I believe, right? So that could be pretty good. But let's see. Okay. Music Man here says, I effing love Justified. Hell yeah. Ryan here says he's more than just a voice actor. That's true. Kind of like the voice actor for Ahsoka Tano, right? And you know, Rosario Dawson playing her. Steph here asks, would Ahsoka have a love interest soon? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they're ever going to give Ahsoka a love interest. I mean, that kind of feels like it's counterproductive to like the kind of like the monk aspect of the Jedi. But like, I mean, didn't they say, who said that Jedi could fuck, right? Because someone said this recently. I think it might have been Flynn. He didn't use the word like I'm using it, but I'd heard someone say like Jedi can have sex. It's just like they can't have connections, you know? So it kind of like opens the door, like in a real kind of weird, like force sensitive gray area, right? Jedi Council gray area. It's like, no, you can bang, just like don't have any attachment to one another, you know, like just leave your feelings at the door. do what you got to do and then, get back on it and whatnot. So that could be something worth exploring and maybe a potential future episode. Lord Slick here says, still worried about the Eternals though? Like, what is the story and why should we care? Yeah, that's going to be kind of a thing. Oh, yeah, Jess. Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, that could be good. That could be a good one. And he's doing a show right now. So, he's not against being on television. Let's see. Austin here says Alexander Skarsgård. I don't know. I like Skarsgård quite a bit. I really do. I loved him in True Blood and everything else I've seen him in. And he could do that intense, right? He could do intense really well. We'll have to wait and see. That could be a pretty good choice. That could be pretty good. Reed asks, am I streaming it on here? I will go live. I'm going to be live. I'll stay live because people want me to do a watch along. I'm not going to stream it here. I'll bring my window up. I just won't have the sound and I'll block it off. So then I can talk and you guys can hear my reaction, but I do not want to get a copyright strike. So no, I will not be streaming it here, but we can do a watch together on it. How about that one? Alvi here says Christopher Meloni has Thrawn. That's fascinating, man. That's fascinating. I like Maloney. Yeah, I do. I'm not against him, man. I think anyone who can play that role could be pretty good. When does the episode release? The episode should be dropping here in about the next 45 minutes. Let me just quickly refresh my bad batch here. It is, nope, just the trailer is up. We don't have the episode just yet, but as soon as it goes live, I will tell you guys. We'll give it a couple minutes and so everyone else can get locked in and get ready to go, and we'll hit play at the same time. Ryan here says, I think it was George Lucas who said that they could have sex. Okay, yeah, I think that's right. I do think you're right on that one. And if Lucas is saying it, then, skeet, 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 skeet. Yeah, skeet, 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 motherfucker. I'm very excited for more Star Wars, so I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to say whatever there. J&R Films. Hello there. Hello there. Anthony Strader says, Michael Fassbender as Thrawn. I know, yeah. Look, like, that's a good choice, man. That's a good choice, Anthony. Yeah, I agree. I think Fassbender can do pretty good. I like Fassbender quite a bit, but is he going to want to go to TV? Right? Fassbender is a movie star, but then again, his career has kind of, it's not, I don't want to say faltered. It hasn't faltered, but it's kind of gone standstill a little bit since like Dark Phoenix and Assassin's Creed. So I have to say here, Reed says, I wish I had Disney Plus. I don't want to, I'm not trying to promote piracy here, but I'm pretty sure, if the Nicotina show is on Twitch, I think they're showing the episode. I don't know for certain, but but then following up here by Min Min, who's got my back on this one, says Matt doesn't want to be thrown into the stratosphere by Disney. That's not true. Oh no, that is true. That is true. I don't want to be thrown into the stratosphere. I think it's that one. No, I'm not going to go to Twitch. I don't see the thing is, man, I will talk about it till the end of time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to stream it. I feel like to me, that's a step too far, right? Like if you guys want to if it's available to download, you get your hands on it. Like that's not me, but I don't want to risk anything. And even on Twitch, I don't want to risk anything. Some people just don't care. So let's see here. All right. Shrek is daddy. You make me say that name all the time. Sorry. I'm so happy we're doing this tonight, guys. You guys have no idea how happy I am right now. I love Star Wars so much. All right, check Disney at 11:50 p.m., about 10 minutes beforehand. They dropped all the Falcon and Winter Soldier episodes 10 minutes early. Good way to start watching it before they crash at midnight. That is true, and if I'm live, and I'll tell you guys about it. And we got about 30 minutes to go. Geeks here says, Anthony Starr as Thrawn. Oh, yeah, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. I would be down for that, though. I love Anthony Starr. I think Banshee is now on HBO Max. If you haven't seen Banshee, watch Banshee. Steph here asked the question, how do you audition for Star Wars shows? What character would you play as? So for auditioning for Star Wars, generally you need to be in the Los Angeles area and you need to look for casting calls because casting calls will go out. There will be people that talk about it. You could probably find some work potentially going through backstage, or central casting, which does background actors. I'm actually registered with central casting, but it was like 10 years ago, and they weren't ever casting for, like Big Bang Theory, which is like the only thing I could ever really be on. It's like, oh, fat dude, glasses, goatee. You clearly fit in this particular show. Anyway, who I would like to play? I don't have a character that I'd like to play. You know what? I don't have a character because for me, the characters in my mind, they're all iconic. And I just like, I would be happy at being a dude like in the back on the bridge of something, like just, beep up, hitting buttons, and going like, there's the back of my fucking head. Look at that fat roll right there. That's me. Like, I would be happy with that. But if they gave me a speaking part, I would, it'd probably be an alien and no one know it's me. But I would love to do it. I would love to do it very much. All right, let's see here. Skipper says, wasn't it an exception to have a child for Munda because of critical stage of the species? I don't know. Munda. What's Munda? You got to fill me in on this one here. Let's see. Anthony says Michael Fassbender is Doctor Doom. That could be pretty good, but I think a lot of people might want him to come back as Magneto. All right. Do I think that we will see Barriss Offee in Ahsoka spinoff since Dave Filoni said he had plans for her? We haven't seen her since Clone Wars season 5. Could she be an Inquisitor? Let me look at that Barriss Offee here. I mean, maybe didn't she die? She died, right? It's been a while since I watched this. Let's see here. Early life. I mean, let's see. Oh, she was arrested. She was arrested, and then she showed that she had been corrupted by the dark side before being taken away. Yeah, they could definitely. I mean, if they, if they bring her back, and everything else, I think that could be something. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just sit here for people who don't know who she is. Let me just quickly bring up the image. But yeah. I think Inquisitors are going to be an issue because I know for like Obi-Wan predominantly, I think we'd see it. And I say that because it takes place only 10 years after the events of this. But it's possible that in the Bad Batch, we might be seeing more of her character. This is a very nice cosplay, by the way. So that is something there. All right. H Bart's here. Oh my God. He says here, watched In Search Of. You were good, but strange at the end. Okay. What he is talking about is, my movie, by the way. And I'll quickly bring this up so people who might want to see it, and I'll post a link in the chat. This is a movie that I made. This is my movie. My first feature film. I wrote it, I directed it, and I starred in it. There we go. That is the link for it right there. This is my movie. You can watch the whole thing. It's like 72 minutes. And there you go. So yeah, thank you very much, H Parts, for watching it. We made it 11 years ago now, and I really liked it. I had a lot of fun with it, but that's the movie. And In Search Of is, there you go. You guys can see it. It's a fun movie. It's very quick. It's like 72 minutes long. You can watch it very, very quickly. So anyway, thank you very much for that. Anyway, Geeks here asking the question, saying, could Ahsoka be in Bad Batch? She could. And I think at some point she will. Because obviously the Bad Batch, because keep in mind, there's 16 episodes during the season. So obviously during this whole situation, like, they're going to be on the run, her and Commander Cody. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be trying to find friends and allies wherever they can. And so at some point, the two have got to they got to meet. I have a feeling that that's going to happen. Shrekka's daddy asked the question here. How hyped would you be if we see Obi-Wan and Darth Vader photos for May 4th tomorrow? Oh, dude, I'd be fucking hot. I would be hyped. I would be very hyped. I'm hoping for Cassian Andor and Obi-Wan teaser. I mean, Cassian Andor has been filmed. A lot of it's been filmed. They have footage to show us. Boba Fett's been in production for a while. They have footage to show us. Those, I would think tomorrow will get some kind of sizzle reel because they dropped that Marvel trailer today, which blew up the internet. And I wouldn't be surprised if Lucasfilm was like, hold our beer, and they drop it, or hold our blue milk. And that's what they do. I wouldn't be surprised at that one. I think that would be dope if we get to see those. If we get to see more, I mean, they're not filming Ahsoka yet, so we don't know what's going to happen with that. But if they give us some stuff, some behind the scenes stuff, anything more with Cassian Andor, I'd be very happy with. We need to have a watch party. What, for my movie? Yeah, we could do that, and I could actually show the damn thing here too. All right, so Min Min says my role in Star Wars would be in the background at the diner where Anakin and Ahsoka are eating during the Clone Wars era. You just want to hang out, enjoy the atmosphere, maybe get a drink, all those things. I get it, dude. I get it. Let's see here. Do I think that we'll get some news for May the 4th for Star Wars? I mean, we might get something, man. They definitely want tomorrow to be big. I think right now they're going to gauge and estimate how popular this show is, how big it does tonight. And I think a lot of people are going to watch it, and it's 70 minutes. It's 70 minutes. That's amazing. I'm very happy with that one. Tanner Woodby says here, oh, come on, Tanner. Oh, don't be a stinker. Says this is going to suck. Not excited at all. They are a bunch of misfits. Yeah, and? I don't get it. And? Yeah, I think it's going to be good, man. I mean, look, okay, here's the thing. I didn't really care much for the Ahsoka arc in the middle arc of the Clone Wars season 7. I didn't care for it too much. I didn't like the characters. Was it Trace and Sketch or whatever their names were? I didn't like them, but I really enjoyed the Bad Batch because I thought that their dynamic worked really well, and I liked the action, and I liked them teaming up with Anakin. And I was saying back then, we could totally use a Bad Batch show, because it's going to give us, instead of the rank and file of the clones, it's going to be giving us what happens after the fact to these guys who don't have those, didn't have to follow Order 66. My question though, and this is where I'm a little bit concerned, but I think with the inclusion of Echo, it kind of will alleviate those concerns. So my concern is that because while watching the Clone Wars, you grow attached to the clones. You do. You just do. D. Bradley Baker did such an amazing job with all of those characters, giving them personalities over the course of the 7 seasons, and you grow to care, truly care for these characters. And now they're going to be on the other side of that. Now we know as fans, we know Order 66, they had no control. This is what they had to do. We saw it with the Siege of Mandalore final episode. We saw all of those things. And, we get all that. I'm just wondering how it's going to play out. But I think Echo is going to be that anchor into the Clone Wars, right? That's going to be the grounding point for fans. And the fact that they brought him back in season 7 and they kind of, they brought him, he went with the Bad Batch at the end. I think it's going to be pretty good. So I'm personally very excited to see where this goes. I think bringing us, or, the origins of Fennec Shand, Ming-Na Wen, is going to be a tie-in to The Mandalorian, and it's going to be a tie-in to the Book of Boba Fett, which means they're going to be laying groundwork for when we get that show. I mean, we're coming into the next phase of Star Wars, or we're coming into this next connected universe where they're not only going to have animated shows, but the live action, and they're going to be teasing all these things and building up, and it's the world is going to be growing bigger and bigger and bigger, in my opinion. And I'm just super excited to freaking get there because I want to see what they do with it. In Filoni, I trust, but this show, he's not a part of. And that is a little peculiar to me. He's got his Mando stuff and he's got Ahsoka. So he's off doing his live action. I'm hoping he's got some kind of supervising producer or some kind of consultant involved in this. Cause I really want to see what happens next. Real quick here. Cylon Scotty says, In Search Of was an amazing found footage movie. I was completely captivated by the dialogue. Thank you. I can't tell if you're joking or not on that one. We ad-libbed everything. There's a part in the beginning of the movie where I tell Mark to stop being a bitch, right? And that is me as not only the actor in that scene, the director and producer and writer of that movie, and his best friend. I'm legitimately telling him, stop being a bitch, because he had an attitude all morning while we were shooting this stuff. And he was just being really kind of bitchy because I had to wake his ass up early. He knew we were making a movie and he still wanted to sleep in. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, what you were listening to were two best friends legitimately acting as two best friends. And then the ending gets weird. So there's that. But thank you very much. Rational Skeptic here, $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Says they're going to tease the Yuuzhan Vaughn in one of their shows. Would you like to see this? Yeah, of course. I'm not too familiar with the Yuuzhan. What's it called? What's it? I'm like totally. How do you Yuuzhan Vaughn? Hold on. Okay. They're religious zealots. Okay. I'm not too familiar with the EU stuff. Okay. Like I know I never really got into it as a kid, to be honest with you. And so some stuff I'm not too familiar with. I'm learning as I go along, but, okay. So, let's see. These guys look pretty cool. What are they? Okay. So maybe, I mean, where would they fit in? How about that? Where would they fit in regards to everything? Cause I don't know. So please fill me in on that one, actually. Rational Skeptic. Where would they fit in? Anthony here says, just gave you a shout out on my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot, Anthony. Appreciate it, buddy. Geeks here says, D. Bradley Baker, one of my favorite voice characters. Yeah, he's a great voice actor, man. He's a fantastic voice actor. Anthony Strader here says, I hope we see other characters in the Bad Batch, like Grand Inquisitor Grogu, Boba Fett, Cody, Barriss, Offie, and Darth Vader. I think we're going to get Vader. I think we're going to get Vader at some point. It just seems to make sense. Grand Inquisitor Grogu. Yeah, my money's on that. Really. What if they show Baby Yoda? If they show Grogu, that's going to be dope. Come on, let's be fair. If they show Grogu as a baby, if we find out how he escaped the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, if we find that out, that's going to be sick as hell, man. I can't wait. I am looking forward. Brandon Tran here with some dope ass positivity, saying this premiere is going to be amazing. Hopefully we'll see Wookiees, Trandoshans, Chewbacca, and Tarfu. From the unfinished Yoda goes to Kashyyyk arc. Maybe. I think they're going to, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do yet. I don't know what we're going to do yet. Okay. Let's see. Tanner says, I'm excited to see Rex. I hope we do see Rex. Real quick here, though, Cylon says, I'm not joking. I completely believe the dialogue was real and authentic. It was because it was two friends bitching at each other. I think that's the reason why it was authentic. But thank you. I'll tell Marky you said that. I got to call him anyway and yell at him. Can we do call-ins? I'll tell you guys what, we got about 15, 20 minutes till it starts. So I'll drop the link. Let's try to keep it on point. Right. We'll just try to keep it on point. What you guys are excited for with the Bad Batch. So I'll drop it right there. Let's see here. All right. Oh, they're not affected by the Force. Oh, but see, I don't know if it's later on. They'll come in handy, I think. Okay. Let me just kind of dive in here. Do I think that they will do Order 66 from their perspective? I think so. I think we're going to get a bit of that. I do think we're going to get a bit of that. All right. So first up, we've got James here. How's it going,
Hey,
James?
man, just calling in from Brisbane, Australia again.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, you excited for tonight?
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. 6 p.m. East Coast time.
Yeah, well, I guess your East Coast time, right? My East Coast time
our
is
East
way
Coast
different.
time. No daylight savings in my state.
Well, I mean, here, it's 11:31 p.m. here, and I think it's going to be a hell of an evening. So what is your anticipation for all this? What do you think is going to be, like the whole, like, what do you think? Fill me in.
I'll tell you, the big thing that I'm pissed about is that we're not getting detours.
Well, I mean, they did. There's been talks about
detours.
There's been talks about.
We were meant to get it today, but they didn't do it. Apparently, they didn't even finish it. But they're not going to put it out though. I know May 4th your time is almost over, but they operate on the American time. They confirmed it won't be coming out May 4th. It's been confirmed that instead we're getting a Simpsons short.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with Simpsons.
Yeah, but wouldn't you have rather seen the detours, the last thing George Lucas did?
Yeah. No, I would. I would.
Like, we're not getting that. They're not giving it to us.
Well, I mean, they're not giving it to us today, but we could get a trailer for when it's coming.
Maybe, but they said we won't be getting it. Like,
well,
so I don't think we'll see. Like, they even said, like, people asked them, "Are we going to get this?" And they said, "No, it's not happening."
I don't know. They've renewed the trademark. They're sitting on 39 produced episodes. You know,
but they didn't. The question is, will they think it's worth finishing the animation off? There's still Clone Wars episodes they didn't finish the animation for.
Well, that was a bit different though, because that was them just canceling the series.
Yeah, but even still, even after they finished the 7th season, like, there's still like 4 episodes they didn't redo.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They probably were just looking at trying to finish it up and then also build off of there, because I do think that the final season of the Clone Wars was greenlit in reaction to the fan backlash to episode 7. I do.
Yeah,
I do. I think that.
I'm just wondering why we're not getting detours. I'm just kind of annoyed we're not getting that, because I was all excited to get it, and now they've just said no, not happening.
Well, I don't know. I mean, look, at any point in time, we might get detours. At this point, I would probably say that it will happen at some point, and it will be fun. If it's done, because they've done the 39 episodes and they got scripts for a whole bunch more. They got to probably see how it's going to go. And these things, again, they take contracts, right? Contracts need to be worked on. And the thing is, you can tell that The Mandalorian really did help put Disney Plus on the map, right? Before Marvel, they gave us the Mando, and Mando blew up, and Mando season 2 blew up even harder. So they understand Star Wars content on Disney Plus is a very, very, very good and very, very, very lucrative thing. So they're probably just trying to figure out when they're going to be releasing all the other shows, and then figure out the best time to drop detours, because they may not drop it all at once. They may do week to week, which I think would be smarter in my opinion. Drop a couple episodes and then go from there.
On the plus side though, I do have Star Wars Live to look forward to.
What is that?
Okay, so in Brisbane, Australia, they've signed a deal with Disney to be the host of Star Wars Live. Basically, every 3 months, they show a classic Star Wars movie, but they have the Queensland State Symphony Orchestra do the music, and a sound effects person do all the sound effects live.
Oh, cool.
So, like, the dialogue, the images, and all that are the movie, but all like the sound effects and the music is just performed live on stage.
Okay. That would be really cool to see.
Well, you have to come to Australia for that.
There are many reasons why I want to go to Australia. So it's definitely on my bucket list of things to do. And that is something that I definitely enjoy. Let me, I'll bring up this really crappy image. I'll bring this up for you guys to check out here. This is actually, because you brought up the seeing Star Wars Live and stuff. So back in 2015, when I was at Comic-Con, and they had the panel for The Force Awakens. They didn't show us really any footage. They gave us like a sizzle reel of some stuff, but afterward they took us out to a concert, and the San Diego Symphony performed Star Wars soundtrack for us. And I got this lightsaber here. I'm currently back in the back, and you can see all the other lightsabers in the stage in the background. And they put on like a 45-minute Star Wars concert just for those of us who were in the room for that reveal. And then at the very end, did a huge fireworks display in the San Diego Bay in order to celebrate. It was a wicked cool experience. I'm going to pull out my East Coast accent for a hot second.
So basically, Star Wars Live is that, but 2.5 hours and the movie.
Yeah. So for everyone here who is asking what StreamYard is, this is the link. It's in the chat. This is if you want to come in and chat for the next like 13 minutes or so, then this is the link. You guys got to come on in, and I'll bring in Austin because he's waiting for a second. How's it going, Austin?
Hey, what's up, Matt? How you doing, dude?
I'm doing great, dude. I am bristling with anticipation
Right.
to just watch this show. I've been waiting forever to see it. And after this last week of just like, will they, won't they on the Snyder Cut stuff, it's so good to finally have like something
to hold on to.
something to hold on to that I know is not going to go away. You know,
Right.
it's like, it's not going to be like, you know, the studio's not going to pull the rug out from underneath us. It's going to be, no, we love you. Give us your money. Here's what you want. So yeah, like, so obviously you're excited for the show.
Yeah, dude, I'm super excited. I mean, I think it's going to be one of those things where, you know, you didn't realize that as a Star Wars fan that we needed the Clone Wars series, right? Until we got it.
Yeah.
So I think it could be one of those things for sure. There's so much gaps to fill in. And I think this is a really special group because like you said earlier, you know, we haven't really seen a team of clones like this. They're defective. They're unique in their own types of ways.
Well, what they remind me of, and maybe James, you'll agree, is it kind of reminds me of the Republic Commando game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and like that was when that dropped back in 2005 on the Xbox and PC. I think even PS2 had it.
Yeah.
It was definitely like, it was a fun ass game, and they've just re-released it. I think they remastered it, and it's like $15. So it's definitely, I'm gonna buy it later on today. I haven't bought it yet.
I only play a Star Wars Battlefront.
Well, this is more, think of it like kind of like it's a tactical based shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Star Wars Battlefront was made in Brisbane where I live. This was made not where I live.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I like things that are made in not
pride, man.
Oh no, great. You're an OSNAT. That's the last thing we need. I'm gonna get canceled now because you're gonna come in and start like dropping some serious words that none of us understand what they mean, but in your culture, you get canceled.
Pride in free healthcare and cheap college. That's the OSNAT dream.
There you go. But the thing is, though, Republic Commando was just a really, really, really fun game.
Yeah.
And you know, like but then everyone wanted more from it. I think they even I haven't played it in such a long time, but I don't remember if they like left it open for a sequel at the end of it or something like that. So here I will bring this up, but I won't actually have the sound, but I'll show you guys here. Where is my StreamYard? Right. There we go.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do like a remaster or something, because I know they already announced like the Old Republic is getting a remaster.
Well, this is here. This is from February. This is from just like 2 months ago.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So this is, I don't have the sound on for a reason. But this is the remaster of Republic Commando that's out for PS4, Xbox One, and PC right now. I think even Switch maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can tell the graphics are heavily dated, obviously, but at the same time, when you know, this game was just a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and like you don't just take on like the you know, the droids. You take on like, I think, space pirates and like other bad guys as well.
Right.
So you get a lot of variety, and like even some of the guns, like you get like different gun types as the game goes on, and it's pretty cool. Okay, Yvonne here says it's on the Switch as well. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Star Wars Battlefront 3, which was unreleased, but the developers leaked out into a DLC, a mod for Battlefront 2. You can fly a starship over the planet and bomb it with people. Like, it was a multiplayer online game, and like you could fly the starship and bomb other players on the planet.
No, you could do that. I remember watching this stuff. My only big I played a lot of Battlefront 1 and 2. Right. I mean, 1 was a lot of fun.
3 was a whole other level.
Oh yeah, no. From what it looked like, I've seen some of like the leaked footage that people have played around with and whatnot, and I think like even, you know, the problem though is that was it Pandemic Studios? That was a studio, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the Brisbane studio.
Okay, see, I love those guys. Like, you know, Destroy All Humans, Mercenaries 1 was the shit. I would love to see that game get remastered. Mercenaries 2, not so much, but still was fun. Those guys were great, and I remember like when Revenge of the Sith came out and Battlefront 2 dropped, I spent a lot of time. The only downside though was that the net code for the Xbox Online gameplay was terrible. It glitched constantly. You know, so it wasn't the best for consoles, but definitely on PC worked really well.
I mean, it would be really cool to see them almost like kind of rebrand the Republic Command game with the Bad Batch.
You know, they could do that here. Well, Lord Slug says they had planned a sequel called the Imperial Commandos, but it got canned. I mean, obviously, I think, you know, I mean, that was probably one of the saddest things that came out of the Disney acquisition. I know everyone's all like, you know, March, was it 2013 or 2014 when they canned the EU, when they made it, when they said it's no longer canon.
Right.
And, but for me, it was when, you know, like LucasArts, when they announced LucasArts was dead.
Yeah.
That was a big one for me because I grew up playing all those games.
And not only that too, the other stuff, the other games too, like I grew up doing like Force Unleashed, you know, and like Battlefront 2. But like the Force Unleashed games I thought were really, really good, like Star Wars lore to be explored in a movie or something like that, especially with Darth Vader. Well,
yeah, I mean, that was always considered though. I mean, to a lot of people that was never, you know, canon, right? Right. But because I mean, obviously, like Sam Witwer, but it did introduce Sam Witwer to Star Wars fans, which is what got him to, you know, I think one of the things that helped him go in and do the voice acting for Maul.
Right.
And that is him as Maul has been fantastic. Now, I do think we are going to see Maul in this series. I just don't know when.
Ooh, that would be cool.
I think Maul is going to show because if you notice, there's a shot from hold on. All right, the Clone Wars, Siege of Mandalore, Maul. God, it was
because last we saw him, he's in prison. He's being imprisoned, right, on Mandalore.
No, he wasn't. He escaped at the end of the at the end of the show. He escaped. It was what was the name of the bad guy in Solo 2? What was his in Solo? What was his name? Paul Bettany's character.
Oh, it was some weird name.
It was forgettable.
I know. I hold on. Maybe there's a screen. Maybe I can find the screenshot of it and whatnot. Okay, you know what? Yeah. Here, guys, it's someone's like thumbnail, but I don't care. Dryden Voss, that's his name. Dryden Voss is the name, and I really enjoyed his character too, even though I biffed it on the name. But here we go. So this is in one of the last episodes. We see Maul and he's talking, and then Dryden Voss is right there.
That's right.
So if this takes place right after, and like, you know, so we could get a lot more out of the Crimson Dawn if the Bad Batch, if they might go into some kind of mercenary stuff. We don't know yet.
Right.
So, but I think
they did say they would be mercenaries.
One thing that was interesting to me in the trailer of Bad Batch was that it looks like they're like there with all the other clones that are being talked to by Palpatine. So I'm wondering, you know, do they head like in there to figure out, okay, what's going on, just to learn, or how do they end up in a situation where they're obviously not supposed, they look like they're not supposed to be there, you know?
Well, what I think is, like, you know, we don't know what they were doing when Order 66 happened. When we left them in the, you know, in the show, it was a little bit beforehand, right? It was a ways before the Siege of Mandalore and Order 66. So we don't know what they've been up to, but it's entirely possible that they were with, you know, and I think what we're going to see is that they were with a platoon of clones that they were probably friendly with. And then all of a sudden, like, this thing goes off and they realize, you know, the shit's hit the fan and they got to run. Right. And so they're going to have to fight their way out. But I'm wondering if they're going to do it like Rex did, where Rex was actively trying to, like, not kill the clones.
Right.
I wonder if they're like, fuck it, let's just wipe them out because they're in our way. I could see Wrecker doing something like that.
Right. I could. That's what I was gonna say. That dude looks like he's just gonna plow through anything.
Oh yeah, and was it Crosshair? Crosshair's not gonna give a shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he's just gonna pop, take them all out. Hunter might try to, like, calm them down, and I think Echo is gonna have the most, like, emotional connection to it because these are like his brothers, you know.
For sure. So, now that's one thing I'm really excited about. Like, Echo is I want them to explore that. I mean, he knew, and then it happened. So there's got to be some PTSD, you know, or something, you know, some trauma.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking forward to with D. Bradley Baker. I'm just looking forward to his acting in this again, because like, here's the thing too. If you guys don't, if you haven't already purchased Jedi Fallen Order for PS4 or Xbox, they are doing, for one today, it's like $15. I think it's $15 today on sale. And they're also going to be doing, I think they're doing a PS5 and an Xbox Series X,
remaster,
a remaster, like an up-res patch. So if you haven't played Fallen Order, play Fallen Order, because because they show Order 66 from
a very cool perspective.
From a very cool perspective. And my favorite thing too was who voices the clones.
Mm-hmm.
And like you hear it. I was playing the game. Like I was playing the game, and I know, like, I don't want to spoil the ending, but like the ending was spoiled for me because people are dicks,
right?
But I still enjoyed the ending. But like when I got to that part and like I heard D. Bradley Baker, I was like, oh yeah, I was so happy.
And that's another thing too. I think is cool. Like I kind of mentioned it earlier today on, that possibly I would love to see Cal show up in this series at some point.
Cal would be he would be what? He was like 7 or 8 or something like that, or 10 maybe.
Yeah, he was about 8 years old. Yeah.
Let's see here. Let me look it up.
Pretty sure.
Cal. All right, Cal Kess. All right, I want to see this myself actually.
Because I know we're seeing Saw Gerrera in this series for sure.
Yeah. It's so funny that like he's dead, but they keep bringing him back.
Forrest Whitaker, man. You're like, we can't get rid of Forrest.
I just love that too in Jedi Fallen Order when like you see Saw and it's like, hey, didn't I watch you die a while back?
Right, bro.
But yeah, okay, let's see here. Cal Kestis, Order 66 age. Okay, he was 12 years old during the Purge, so he'd be younger. He was 17 in the game. Okay. Wow. Okay. So he was 12 years old during the Purge. All right, that makes some sense there. Yeah. So I think it's we could get to see a whole bunch of stuff, and I think they're gonna tie a lot of it in, that'd be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, the one thing I have no idea about is who this Omega character is.
There's been a rumor, and someone might have mentioned it earlier in the chat, that Omega might potentially be, let me bring up the poster here, like a clone of Boba Fett.
That would be interesting.
But that's a little bit weird. What I'm wondering is if Omega is a Force-sensitive clone.
Wouldn't that be impossible?
Well, I mean, they technically already introduced that, didn't they?
Didn't they? When?
Isn't Finn technically a Force-sensitive clone?
No. Finn wasn't a clone. So when the Empire took over, they abducted him. They basically trained.
You're talking the original clones. Got it.
Yeah, the original clones. Not Finn was grabbed as he was a kid. There was even that bit of a storyline in Rise of Skywalker about that.
That's right.
That went nowhere. It's like that's a cool storyline. Oh, what are you gonna do? Oh, nothing. Oh, okay, thanks.
And I think he was supposed to tell Rey too. He was Force sensitive. And
he's like, Rey. She's like, what? I got something to tell you. I'm fucking busy.
Right.
Fuck. God damn, that guy's always trying to get up in my shit. You suck his dick one time. My God, never leaves you alone. Anyway, Rational. The shit that I say on this show, by the way. Rational Skeptic here, $5 super chat says, did you play Star Wars Jedi Knight? The games suck as Dark Forces and Jedi Outcast. I played Jedi Knight. I played Dark Forces. I like Jedi Academy quite a bit. The thing is, though, on PC, that people could mod them, and they were better on PC than they were on consoles.
Right.
Right. What about you, James? Did you ever play those games?
I've played a lot of Star Wars games, honestly, but did anyone play that Clone Wars mod for Battlefront 2?
No, I don't really do a lot of modding. Yeah. I played on Xbox, so I didn't.
I can't.
It's good. It's a really good mod. If you can, it was a pain in the ass to install, but it's really good. It's like based off the cartoon Clone Wars series with like Captain Rex and that Asajj Ventress.
The Jendi
2008.
Right.
2008. Okay, not the Cartoon Network original. That's on there now. That's on Disney Plus now.
Yeah, no, it is.
Let's see. Coconut Singh here says, what time does the episode go live? It's currently 11:50 p.m. Let me take a quick look here. It is not up for me yet. It might be for you guys. I don't know. Sometimes my PC gets it a bit slower than my TV does.
Let's see, I'm pulling it up. Trying to see here.
But Lord Slug here says Dark Forces is a good Doom clone. Yeah. I mean, everything back then got compared to being a Doom clone. I always enjoyed Dark Forces because I thought it was fun to, I always really like Shadow of the Empire. I don't know about you guys, but if they did a Shadow of the Empire adaptation, that would be sick as fuck.
That'd be
Like,
really cool.
they gave us a show on that. That would be great.
It's one of those things that I think I would really love to see them explore, the mythology and the lore in the past a little bit more. I know they're trying to trailblaze forward, but I like what Filoni and Favreau are doing, kind of, keeping it in the Skywalker like story, just all the things we didn't see.
Yeah, it's just adjacent. They're just making it adjacent, which I think really, really, really works.
Yeah.
And then, because the thing is, fans, like, I've seen people bitch and moan about Luke Skywalker popping up, right?
Right.
In the season 2 finale. And it's like, no, because that was great.
Yeah.
And we want more. So, like, what the hell? But I understand their complaint where it's like, why are they trying to tie it back? They should be trying to go a new direction, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, the thing is, Star Wars is linear storytelling. It's just linear storytelling. It's going to be one timeline.
Yep.
And even though in Rebels, they kind of like altered it a little bit with Ezra and Ahsoka and whatnot. It still didn't, if it's kind of like the Mandela effect. This is kind of a weird way of looking at it. But it's like, if the Mandela effect, you feel like there's two parallel universes to one another. And at some point there are cross points, right? And you'll remember things differently. So, I mean, if it's always kind of weaving in and out, but if Ahsoka lived, that means that like she was able to, get out of there. And then still, I don't remember if we didn't see her again until like the end of Rebels. I got to watch it again. It's been so long.
Yeah. I only watched it once, but I think you might be right. 'Cause at the end she's looking for Ezra.
Yeah. Yep. And so, I mean, obviously, like, it didn't interfere with what Ezra was doing at the time. You know what I mean? Like, that's because he was the key focal point of Rebels. He was the main character, so to speak. Yeah. So, his timeline wasn't altered. He still went the same way. We just don't see what happens. And honestly, no one gives a shit. Like, no one's going to care. You
make a great point there. It's kind of like, the scripts are there. The scripts are basically in front of these guys.
Yeah.
All they need to do is adapt it.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, though, and that's also what, but that's also going to be a lot of what Filoni does, right? Filoni has learned very much about, how to tell the story. He worked with George directly. They know how to tell things in a new way, but also paying homage to the past without going too far. The problem, though, now is they're tasked they are effectively tasked with retconning and saving the sequel trilogy. Right. That is kind of their job now. Yeah. And I'm not going to lie. I think it's doable. I do. I think it's doable.
I think it is as well. I mean, I think, it's kind of like the Clone Wars. You watch the Clone Wars, and for me, the prequels are 10 times better. I'm in love with the prequels after watching the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So I think they'll probably, do something like that. Great. Mandalorian already is kind of getting there in season 2. You see there's that whole episode where they blow up that base that kind of
and then you see clones. Like a Snoke clone, and you hear Snoke's theme. But it's like I kept saying, is like Mandalorian season 2, and I'm going to use a Marvel reference here, is like the Iron Man 2 of Star Wars, right? Where what I mean by that is that it had the cameos, it had the plot points, it had the setup, and it's building to the fucking Avengers. Like, that's what it's doing. That's what it's doing. And that's great, because the way they handled it, and again, Favreau, having been involved in both Iron Man 2 and this one, gives you an idea that he has an idea of the world building, bringing in Filoni's expertise in regards to telling the story. And then also, look, I just got to say this real quick. And I see Silent here. I do want to say that one. I just want to quickly say that I have to give Dave Filoni credit. His live action directing has gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
The pilot episode of Mando was fantastic. Episode 5, the Gunslinger, was a bit kind of iffy. It wasn't my favorite episode of the season.
Right.
But when he did the Jedi, that shit was fucking lit, dude. That was lit. Yeah, that was I think
season 2, they really did a good job of they got people that were, for example, Robert Rodriguez and Boba Fett are like the perfect fit.
Yeah.
And even though I'm not crazy about Peyton Reed, he even, in my opinion, he outdid himself with that finale episode. I was really impressed.
It was definitely better. Well, I still loved the second chapter from the season. I just loved how like Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah,
special.
I thought that was great because those spiders were just creepy as hell.
And it felt very Star Wars, where it was this kind of off mission for Mando and Grogu.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah.
I just gotta ask the question: does anyone else hold the opinion that Episode 3 was the best Star Wars? Because I know the other guy here was mentioning he really liked the prequel, so I'm wondering if that's just a weird thing I do, or if there's more people who feel that way.
Are you asking if Revenge of the Sith was better than, let's say, Empire Strikes Back?
No.
Basically, is it the best Star Wars? Yes.
that is entirely, for me, no, but it's up there, right?
Yeah.
It's up there. Out of the prequel trilogy, Revenge of the Sith is a great film.
Right.
But I will say this though, I still have issues with the Phantom Menace, or the Phantom Menace. Sorry, I have issues with the Phantom Menace because it does feel kind of at times. But Attack of the Clones has grown on me exponentially, and I think a lot of that has to do with the Clone Wars, because it is the lead into the Clone Wars. And then spending all that time with Anakin and Obi-Wan and the Clone Wars and Ahsoka and all the other characters, I think, and they did build off some plot points with Attack of the Clones. I feel like it did a good job, and it was benefited by having the series.
Yeah.
But somehow in the 3 years between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, Lucas got his shit together. The dialogue still wasn't great, but visually and emotionally and tonally and beat for beat, it was leagues better than the previous two. So I see your point.
Acting was great.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it was. I mean, Hayden Christensen did a pretty good job. Although I still am not a huge fan of the no from James Earl Jones at the end of that. That's still kind of hokey.
Yeah, I'm with you that Phantom Menace is still iffy for me until those last 30 minutes.
Oh yeah. Once the Duel of the Fates start,
right? Then I'm like,
you're in it. You're good. Like, yeah, you can leave me here. I'll be fine. Because I remember, because this is how I turn 40 next year, and I remember when Total Request Live, Carson fucking Daly, one day they did the world premiere of the Duel of the Fates on Total Request Live, and I was at my friend's house, and he had cable, I didn't have cable, but he had like a 60-inch big screen TV, and we watched the Duel of the Fates and heard it for the very first time, seeing footage from Star Wars, because it was still a couple weeks away from the Phantom Menace. And just, I remember that moment of going like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Whatever we watch is going to be amazing. Okay. All right. According to Shrek is Daddy, it is live. Let me see here. It is 75 minutes long. It is live for me as well.
Wait, 75 minutes?
75 minutes long. It's 75 minutes.
Titled, that's long.
Titled Aftermath. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to for right now I'm gonna boot you guys, and I'm gonna bring it up and then not play it with any sound. I'm gonna watch it, but I'll be here. I can see the chat and stuff, and we'll go through it, and then we'll talk about it at about 1:30 in the fucking morning. Oh,
perfect time for me.
Perfect time for you. And also, real quick though, Silent Scotty, yes, Shadows of the Empire N64 game was a lot of fun. Janky as hell, but a lot of fun. All right, so let me I'm just gonna get it buffering.
Thanks for having me, Matt.
No, thank you guys very much for the chit chat. That was awesome. I had a blast, and we'll definitely do it again. All right, so I'll see you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's bring up my share screen here. Chrome tab, video player. Not showing any audio on this. There we go. That's not. I'm not gonna do it anymore, but you guys can see it's right there. It's up. I'll give it a minute for you guys to get there. And we will, I think I have an image here that I got to find a way to like block it out anyway. So give me give me a minute to kind of like sort this thing out. All right, let me just go to live here. I'll try. Okay, I haven't. Oh, this is gonna suck. All right. Oh, damn it. Oh, I'm hearing myself talk. That's not good. Okay. Full screen this thing. I'm trying to like get it to where I can have my thing there and not have it be a bigger problem, but let's no, we'll do this. Okay, that should, well, maybe No, crap. All right. I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to probably put something else up on over top of it. So that's not good. I didn't configure it the way I wanted it to. But I'll just bring this up for right now. That way it's not blocking anything, but I am still live. Okay. Are you guys ready? Hit 1 in the chat if you're ready. And I'm going to start it on my end. 1 in the chat if you guys are ready, because I want to watch this thing. So I see Yvonne's there. Hopefully Geeks got it. Shrek, I think, is already watching it. All right. You guys seem to be going. All right. Well, let's see. You know what? Well, I'll see it on the, okay. I'm just going to put me up here. I'll just put me up on the screen. I know it's going to be kind of boring. I apologize. It's going to do this, but this is what we have to do for right now. All right. Let's fucking go.